Because I said so.
Because I said so.
Because I said so.
That's why.
Did my mother say anything to me that was a stock phrase?
I've been thinking. And another thing.
You're getting a timeout right now.
My mother is as manipulative as any mother, but she never quite did it that way.
My mother was more mysterious.
You're an Egypt, son. You're an Egypt.
My mom drives me crazy sometimes.
And they know everything, and it's so irritating.
Mom, I'm not an Egypt.
Finally, I found myself saying, because I said so.
Picture up, here we go.
This project started with Karen and I were writing another script together. She'd been at the dentist's office and she had read an article about things that mothers do in the name of love. And one of the things they had mentioned was a mother who was trying to find a suitable suitor for her daughter online.
Adult friend finder. Well, that's a very good sign.
That just goes out and blatantly decides to put the ad out herself and meet the guys without her daughter knowing. And then what would happen if?
Only I could choose for her.
No.
Jesse said that Diane was interested, and I mean, I couldn't see anybody else playing that role. I mean, I just couldn't. I couldn't even conceive of anybody else doing it.
It was a little bit of a process for me with Daphne because she's a complicated character, but what I liked about her was that she's full of life.
Once we knew Diane was going to play the lead, then we heightened the comedy even more.
You are good.
Yes.
This movie really depicts a woman's world to a large degree. I don't quite live in that world, but you know, I get a kick out of it.
It's a challenge when it's a script about women, written by women, that if you're bringing a man aboard to direct, you want to feel like they kind of get that world or enjoy that world.
I think that Michael Lehman was able to trust the actors in the roles, and that was really important for us.
And not only is he a talented director, but he has a lot of courage to put himself in a room with this many women, sort of strong-willed women.
Don't listen to your sisters, for God's sake, sweetie. Do not listen to them.
I think that we all really look like a family and feel like a family, which is so important to have that chemistry.
That's always just a bonus, you know, when you're playing a member of a family and you really, really like the family.
We all just kind of fell into our roles.
And of course, it started with a bond over the love of shopping.
And we sit and talk about eBay purchases all day, and it is a sickness, and it must stop. Okay, I gotta go too.
No.
I think their rhythms melded beautifully from the singing to the acting.
So there was one song in the movie, and turns out everyone can kind of sing.
We were back in the makeup trailer, and it was like a nightclub in there. Music was blaring. It was pretty funny.
We were all joking around that we need to make it a girl quartet and take it on the road.
And I call it, you know, the Von Wilder family. They all have these amazing voices.
And be like, la, 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 you know. And that's not a sample of my singing, by the way. It gets a lot better.
I'm such a softie for those moments in romantic comedies.
I want people breaking into song all the time. Whether it's appropriate or not, I don't care.
We have such a good time, you know, devising, for instance, the scene in the Korean spa.
Tomorrow is the Korean massage parlor scene.
Oh my God, please don't make me go.
There is some tension.
Yeah, that scene scared me.
There's a lot of skin.
We're all in our underwear, and it's just not right. It just can't, I don't want to do it.
Oh, massaging naked. Take all clothes off. No, not now, pal. No.
And Diane, who's so incredibly good at physical comedy, came in and said, throw me around, don't hold back.
I enjoyed every minute. The physical comedy was great. The pies in the face, the falling down. I just wish I had been able to do more.
And please continue.
Oh my God.
When I got involved, I thought the biggest casting challenge would be casting the guys, because these are very well-defined parts. They're crucial for telling the story, but in some ways, you know, they have to take second position to the girls in a lot of scenes.
Gabriel plays the hunky rock and roll, you know, hipster guy, if you like that kind of thing. And when they told me, look, can you play in front of people? I was like, yeah.
Tom Everett Scott came in and it had so many kind of nuances and layers to his performance.
They wanted Brad Pitt. They settled for Lou Diamond Phillips. They got Tom Everett Scott.
It was just a much more interesting way to approach the role.
I really like Tom's work, and I'm glad that he's playing Jason.
They could not have cast two better people for the roles and sweeter guys.
All right, okay, come back here.
Oh, Ty. Ty is a character.
Who are you? What planet do you hail from? He's like hyper and he doesn't listen a lot and he likes to run around.
Ty's amazing. I mean, if you're the great-great-great-grandson to Babe Ruth, you got it made.
But man, does he know his stuff?
Now, we are going to push a cake into our cake baker's face in order to teach Ty, who plays Lionel, how he's going to have to push it into Diane's face.
And guess what? I did those moves like a running back does.
Okay, good. When you go by, take your hands, push the cake. Just flat, right up into it. Perfect.
What a fun boy. Whoa, there you go. Oh, not quite. Hi. Lionel, that's so cute. I don't know what to say.
Diane is just amazing. She's everything you want her to be and more.
They feed off of Diane, so to have her be so professional, so prepared, so smart, so on top of it, really raises the bar for everybody else.
I think she's one of those actors that brings out the best in everyone that she's in a scene with.
A whole movie's gonna come out with us with Diane, but it's not enough. You know, we want pictures and we want to be with her and eat with her and be around her. I don't know, she's such an amazing person.
I'm sure we could have cast other actresses and we could have made a good movie, but so perfect for Diane.
I just want you girls to understand something about motherhood, okay?
To me, this movie is about a mother's love.
But the truth is that when you're a mother, and it's sort of a hard thing to do, but you are overprotective.
To have that much sort of love for someone that you just can't help but trying to be involved in everything in their life.
I think it's about, if you love something, let it go.
There's nothing more romantic than impossible love.
That's what intrigues me so much, is that when you're doing your job right, they don't need you anymore, but they love you and you love them so much that you try to find a way to still be connected, and I think that's where people get tripped up.
I do think it's a mother's love is a mother love, you know?
No.
Be a little bit more live. More. Yeah, a little bit slower.
We made the decision to shoot in Los Angeles, which was a tough decision, but I think it's a beautiful city.
We wanted to show the best of LA. Maybe not the LA we see every day on the freeways, but the LA that if you're living a rich and creative life in Los Angeles, the places that you would go to, the places you would live.
You know, so we shot in Malibu and the Venice canals.
We used the Geary building downtown to make it very specifically Los Angeles and a great-looking Los Angeles.
As a costume designer, one is very conflicted when one reads a script full, packed with amazing clothing events, because part of you is thrilled, it's what you live for, and the other part is going, oh my God, like 4 weddings and a birthday party, and it's a very creatively liberating thing to be under pressure, I think.
Millie, you look like you're asking for it.
I am asking for it.
When you're working with an actress like Diane, who's been in 35 movies, to try to find a new look for her is a real challenge, and I think Shay's done an extraordinary job with that.
I came to her and said, Diane, I feel you've looked every possible way in your long film career, and we've got to hit on something that is slightly new.
I respect her for being on the hunt all the time.
And I think that we should sort of plug into a vintage feel.
She dresses a little bit like the 50s mom.
You had the pearls and the gloves and all the feminine accoutrements that have sort of gone out of style.
I think of it as an homage to those earlier comedians like Lucy.
I think she wanted to kind of honor Lucille Ball and kind of her approach to physical comedy.
With these full skirts she wears and this kind of beautiful femininity.
They received it as Lucille Ball and were completely right.
And I think it's a different direction for Diane, and she looks great.
I hit it off with Shay right off the bat. Like, she and I were on the same wavelength about Millie and her look.
Part of Mandy's character's journey is finding out really who she is and how to make the right choices for herself.
In her dates with the two different men in the film, I tried to go for a very clear distinction.
Her character would dress to please the two men that she was dating.
One is much sloppier, more vintage, more eclectic, softer, more patterned. And with the architect, it's much cleaner, and she's trying in a way to squeeze herself into a sleek, more adult self that she isn't. Tom Everett Scott, for me, just had to look perfect, but not terribly imaginative.
I come across as a very nice guy, very stable.
He's safe dressing that he's into compared to Johnny.
Who do you think is better?
Me. I wanted to make him very different from Jason. Very eclectic, like flea market kind of feel.
I had culled quite a lot of research of jazz musicians, blues musicians. He said very much, I don't want to look like all those guys.
A lot of these guys who are really subtle and like really calm, they wear like wild stuff. And I just felt like that was something that might be interesting. And sort of a throwback to the late 70s, early 80s, and just as another shade for this guy's character.
Where are you? Yeah, no, I love being reduced to a cultural cliche. That's just terrific.
Many people have seen variations of these kinds of stories before, and so that we had to make ours have a great flair all of its own. So it was really ransacking one's brains to what could we do that was equally distinctive. And we happened on polka dots.
Gotta love a woman in polka dots. Not everyone can pull it off.
Then it sort of snowballed that we had to sort of plant polka dots as often as possible in very small ways. Michael and Jesse loved that thought, and they then sort of spoke to the art department and filtered on down to the cake divas.
Daphne loves polka dots, and so her whole wedding is polka dot themed, so we just took it to another level.
They're amazing. The cake divas rock my world.
We wanted someone who could really bring those to life in a whimsical, funny, imaginative way and really do something with a little pizzazz. And when the Cake Divas came aboard, it was amazing.
We came up with different ideas to reflect each different character in the film. And for each cake, we made sketches.
And looked at them and said, okay, this could be Maggie's wedding cake, this could be May's wedding cake, this could be Daphne's cake.
We have this whole transitional elements going from wedding to wedding to wedding that starts out on the cakes because they're so lovely.
It takes a lot of time to create cakes for a film like this. It's not just the design process and creating one cake, usually it's creating multiples. The overall theme of the cakes for this movie is expressing Daphne's style.
The wedding cakes are sort of extreme artistic creations, and even though they're like pieces of art, four of us are still always putting our fingers in the cakes because they're so good.
But we didn't get to eat it. I feel kind of gypped. It was my wedding.
Oh, look out.
Hi.
Pregnant, right?
Yep. You're smart.
Boy or girl?
Wow.
Twins? It looks like twins.
That's my stomach. It'd be great if you would.
You are huge. You look good though.
Appreciate it.
How do I tell strangers that my belly is not public domain?
iVillage.com. Let's village.